Hi, this is a short video that's going to show you how the pre-arrival learning program can be used for short-term students. The pre-arrival learning program has been designed to prepare students for their stay here in Canada, for their arrival at the airport, their transfer, the first few days and so on, and there are a number of language courses included as well that students can start studying before they come to Canada, can study while they're here, and for the short-term program they can continue after they leave as well. We're going to go through the activation process, and if you would like to do that yourself and have access to the course, then just please let me know. But students activate from the oceanet.ca website. This part down here is for pre-arrival. It is a two-step process where first we go and register for the program and we do an online language course. The result of this test is being sent to you, so you can use that in your planning for where the student should be. Once the student has activated, they will receive an email with their new username and password. So the code that we're going to use first will only be used once. But that should all make sense once we get started. So students start by clicking here. Click here for pre-arrival learning. And we come to a page that looks like this. So there are a few steps to get started, 1, 2, 3, and students can change the instructions to their language if they like, but we're gonna stick with English for now. Once the student is ready, they click go down here. And the first thing we do is to make sure that a couple of things are available on the student's computer. So we support 4 different browsers, including Safari and Internet Explorer and so on. And we usually support the last 2 or 3 versions, and it should say yes up here. If it does not, if it says no, there will be a link to where you can upgrade your browser to the latest version. That's obviously free. And in our courses we use Flash and JavaScript, so that needs to be installed on the student's computer. And again, both these two are free and they're available already on most computers, but if they don't have it or haven't got the latest version, then they will say no, and there will be a link to where they can upgrade it. So that should be straightforward. Once the student is ready to go, we click here, and we get to a page where we're being asked about an access code. So an access code looks something like this. They are all unique, can only be used once for each student so that we can track the student. And as I mentioned before, if you would like to go through this process to try it out yourself, please let me know and I'll forward a code, or as many as you would like, to you. So the student puts in their first name and their last name and their email address, and confirm the email address, and put in their country. So there's the whole list of countries here. And it's important that the student enters the email address correctly, because this becomes the student's username, and also the username and password is emailed to this address. But the student will do this from home on their own, and again, if they had chosen a different language, then this would be in their language as well. So the process here should be pretty straightforward for the students. So once they have done that, we click submit, and the next step is to do an online English test. So they got 30 minutes to complete it, and they're being tested for vocabulary, grammar, reading and listening, and they should not have help and so on. And once they're ready to go, we start the test here. And it is all multiple choice, and up here you see that the clock ticking, so we've got 30 minutes to go, and there's been multiple choice all the way through. You can click on the audio button to hear a question, and then you just choose what you hear, and as you go through them. So there are 17 listening questions here, and once they are done with that part, we go next, where we get into the vocabulary section, and again, clock is ticking up here. There are 30 questions in this section, and again it's multiple choice. For instance, they saw it, cut, waited for, looked at, started, so looked at, and then the questions get progressively more difficult as we go through this. And we get to the end, click next, where we get to the grammar section, And again, multiple choice. You to the shops yesterday. Did you go? That will be this one here. And again, multiple choice. Get more difficult as we go through them. And in the end, we get to the reading section. 17 questions here. And you asked to answer questions. I know the answer to these ones. And we get to the end. We click finish. And we get our results straight away. Once we have finished the assessment, we get to this page where it tells us how long it took us to do the test and how we scored in the test. So that's we've got an overall score 9%, and then it's broken down to the different skills. And so this result will then be emailed to you, and your account has been created and the following username and password emailed. So there's a username and a password. So I've used this username before, this email address before. So normally the email address would be the username, and the student can change their password to something personal, so to anything they like once they are logged in. And so they can log in through the email that was sent to them, or they can just go down here and click Start. There we go. And we come into the program. So this is what it looks like. So we got the branding up here. We logged in as your first and your last name. And there are some navigation over here. There are the courses that we're going to study. There's the account where we can change the password. There's help. If the students have any questions, they can click here, and there's an email address, so we can help them out. So you don't have to deal with any technical problems at all. But let's go back to study my courses. Students can have access, at the moment they have access for 270 days. If you would like the short-term programs students to have access for shorter, please let me know and we can do that. But kind of the default is 270 days. So the idea is that they get access to the program 2, 3, 4 months before they come here. They can study online, prepare, and then they can also do it while they're in Canada. So if you'd rather have it for shorter, that's fine, or we can just keep it here. So a number of different courses available. There's one called Start Here, we'll go into that. There's Orientation, and there are 3 online language courses. So first, under Start Here, there's a little introduction where there is a video that explains to the student, takes about 4 or 5 minutes, that explains to the student exactly how the program works and how they should study it. The lady here will be speaking in English, and there's a video transcript so the student can read what's going on, if sometimes that helps out. But also we have the transcript available in a number of different languages, mainly Asian and Spanish, so the student can change the transcript down here. Once they have listened to that, they will go into the study plan, where they will find out, put in their name, which country they're going to, and then find out how much they should study to achieve their personal study goals. So that's the study plan. The orientation is very comprehensive. It is similar to what you do when the students arrive in Canada. So there are a number of sections on their arrival: life in Canada, homestay, and practical information. So under arrival, there's a welcome from Geoff, and we go through Toronto arrival, what will happen when they get to the airport. So we have pictures that they should follow when if they arrive through Vancouver. For instance, there's a drag and drop exercise here of things that they will see. And we do hear from students how much they appreciate this, that when they arrive by themselves, it can be quite intimidating to be in the airport by themselves, foreign language, first time on a plane maybe. So having this available before and knowing what to expect helps a lot of students. We show them how to transfer in Vancouver, if they're going through Vancouver, and then when they arrive in Ottawa, what's going to happen. We then have information about the orientation, and we then go into life in Canada, about the language school, about studying in Canada, tips for studying in Canada, the people in the school, the different schools available, academic expectations, ESL, the ESL program. We talk about culture shock. Obviously, it can take a little while for students to get used to life abroad. We talk about after-school activities. We talk about sports, what's available, what they can do, and we go into Canadian popular culture, where we talk about some famous Canadian actors and directors, and we show them some videos of Canadian music, Justin Bieber, Nelly Furtado, and so on, so that they can start appreciating Canadian music. And also they can click down here and the lyrics will pop up for the song they're listening to. Words through music is obviously a great way for students to learn a language, so that works really well. We then have a big section on homestay, very important, and we go into things that you must know. So this section on homestay has been created in cooperation with the Canada Homestay International. So this is pretty much from their handbook that is put in here, and we talk about what's really important, things that you must know. And I should also mention, I forgot to mention that before, that students can change the language in here if, for instance, if they're watching it with their parents, which we highly encourage. The parents may not know English so well, so they can go in and change the language, and using Google Translate. It's not perfect, but it gives the student a good idea. And there's audio on every page, so once they click the audio button here, someone will be speaking what is here. So big section on homestay, and then there's some practical information about Ottawa, transportation, climate, general information, and so on. So a lot of very useful information for the students to have them prepare well and arrive here with realistic expectations, which is a big thing. And then we have 3 online language courses. We have a general English course. We have a course called English for Living in Canada, which goes in and looks at specific situations that we know the student will be in. Introduction, so for instance, when the student is introduced to their homestay family the first time, we know that there are questions that they will be asked by the parents, and there will be questions that they are likely to have. So this gives them vocabulary, ideas of how to build sentences, and just prepare both mentally and linguistically for the situation. And so we go into first impressions, sharing information, daily schedules, shopping, and so on, situations that we know the kids will be in. And the last one is a vocabulary course. So most students can do with more vocabulary. As they say, with the grammar can slow down conversation, but lack of vocabulary will stop conversation. So we go in and teach the students a number of words, high frequency words, and the students can repeat any of these exercises, and there are a number of different exercises. So very interactive, and the students really like, particularly the vocabulary course. So that is how the program works. I hope this has been informative, and please do let me know if you would like some information or if you like a code so you can go and do this yourself. Thank you.